So her damage output, not too bad. You mentioned earlier the Shrunken Head on Dracona is preventing a lot here, but Forsaken Archer, with all that physical damage, definitely doing quite a bit. However, of course, with Plague Rider applying what I'm sure a level 4 shield by now, yeah, that's +8 armor, so the shield breaker alone is not even negating all the armor that's coming out from that Plague Rider armor, so that's unfortunate right there. And they're taking out Kongor, and I don't know if the Hellborn team is even aware, let alone can stop this here. They do have a sight actually in the Kongor pit, but
yeah, they do have sight, but so does SQY. They actually see that ward. I think a bound die is up on somebody as Glacius has that. And they're going to try to do something here. We'll have to see if it works. There's a big ultimate ready to go on Tempest, I'm sure, with that Shrunken Head. So
Forsaken Archer has piercing arrows right here. Oh, they're not going to go for it, though. Oof, I thought for sure they were going, but Polywalk Priest wasn't up, and they say it's just not worth it. So probably the smart decision. I thought for sure they were going to go, though. That was pretty close.
Yeah, well, you were right. I mean, Polywog wasn't there, and they really ever want to take these fights. Draconis now not only has that lifesteal, is working towards that Savage Mace with that Slayer pickup, so things are starting to be pretty grim here for the Hellborn team. And it's a matter of you have a number of problems. I mean, you have Bubbles, who has all that farm, is dishing out so much damage in team fights, as well as CC. Dragon for obvious reasons. Tempest, you're gonna have to make sure that Parasite's always canceling that Tempest ultimate. But if your focus is Tempest, you're gonna have Dragon beating in your face. You're gonna have the Plague ultimate. So it just becomes very, very difficult as far as deciding who to CC down first.
Yeah, I think Aluna just got her 3rd Arcana, I want to say. So if that's the case, that will be a 2nd Hellflower pickup. And of course, good news there for the Hellborn team. No, I guess that was just the 2nd one. She really only had the 2, so I thought her farm was a little bit better. But yeah, so she has the 2 Arcanas. Yeah, she's only farming 224 gold per minute, so I guess not too surprising. But we'll need at least one more. Well, we'll need one more Arcana now to finish that. Unfortunately, 1,500 gold saved up on Parasite. Yeah, Forsaken Archer another 1,400 gold himself. So trying her best to get some damage output. But you said it though, Slayer already picked up by Draconis on his way to that Savage Mace. And, you know, it seems like when he gets to that point, especially with the lead that they already have, it's going to just be way too much and way too overwhelming in favor of QsQ. But obviously FYKU, they're going to stand in here just a little bit longer, see what they can make happen. This top tower, though, it's going to fall, and that will be the last outer tower that it will go down in favor of QsQ. And there we go, in fact. Nox getting credit for it. And he has now officially passed that 500 gold per minute mark. Remember, too, as well, he has 5 minutes still remaining on the token alive. So QsQ may not really force anything just yet. Maybe wait a little bit longer. And in fact, it looks like what they're going to do. They're just going to fall back for now, continue to get even further ahead, and really, really limit the options here for FYKU now.
And a 4th Shrunken Head has been purchased on the side of QsQ, and that's by that Plague Rider being played by Jonas and fans. So they realize, they're like, hey, Dragon did really well with that Shrunken Head. Let's all buy them. Okay. And, I mean, they're right. It's going to do wonders. Yes, there is a Shieldbreaker 3 up on Forsaken Archer, but it's just simply not enough. As you mentioned, Aluna, her farm is just not at all where it needs to be. You go back to the very beginning of the game, and you have to attribute Jonas and fan doing a good job of getting that kill on her. And that's just kind of paved the way for this game and creating a hard game for Aluna. She needs to have farm a lot better than this in that short lane as a 1v1 solo.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that. So really unfortunate there for FYKU, but you're right. You got to give credit to Jonas and fan playing that Plague Rider for QsQ. Definitely a big part for their early success, which has perhaps even led them to this point. That 4 Shrunken Heads, though, that is pretty ridiculous. Voodoo Jester, of course, not having any really items other than the Striders, but been taking care of the wards, I'm sure, and doing just a fine job at that, as SQY seems to do. Parasite going to take over a creep here in the Legion jungle, just all the way down here, farming it up. But the Hellborn, or the Legion team, in the meantime, they're in the Hellborn jungle. They're still here, just waiting for somebody to overstep their boundaries. You know, catch somebody, maybe just pushing out a little bit too much in one of the lanes, maybe just trying to wander into the jungle a little bit, but FYKU not falling for it, but at the same time, because they're not falling for it, it's because they're just sitting in their base, literally. So Savage Mace has been finished by Draconis. It's just about to be delivered. There we go. Draconis is hitting hard now, to say the least. Yeah. Parasite just bought something. Oh, he bought a portal key, so he has his portal key now. That's what he talked about, but there's still that. Oh, they're going to try to jump right here onto Draconis. There's that Shrunken Head, though. Polywog Priest getting locked down, and Polywog Priest will just melt away. So that was a mistake. Polywog Priest jumped first, and it really should have been Parasite, you would think, because he has the Hellflower. So that was a complete misplay right there. Polywog Priest does buy back, by the way. That's his final buyback. But yeah, that wasn't the best executed.
Well, it doesn't have the wards. Now, of course, the Shrunken Head is down on Draconis, but obviously he has that token of life, so I don't think he really cares. And he's going to be dishing out so much damage. Here we go.
Polywog Priest jumps in. There's an also on the Hex is activated. Nice tablet out right there. Avoids a crippling volley. In comes Bubbles out. There's that Cataclysmic Assault. That Tempest ultimate coming out. And the Hellborn damage is absolutely melting away. A Luna Forsaken Archer fall. Forsaken Archer does buy back, but the damage is just so much coming out from the Legion team. Everyone on their team is actually still alive here, for that matter. They are diving a little bit. Want to be careful on that. They're going to go back to the tower, though, and start to drop that. So again, Q Squad is just way too powerful, specifically this Draconis. Tempest, being played by Mally, has also done a pretty good job of landing some nice ultimates throughout this game, so definitely deserving of credit there. Of course, Style and Bubbles, he's the one that initiated that in the first place. And Draconis just going to stand his ground. He still has, by all means, that token of life, still plenty of time left on it, so he doesn't really care too much. Bubbles will counter on a Parasite. He thought he may have had something going, but he eventually falls, and these melee racks will no doubt be destroyed. Forsaken Archer just delaying what seems to be the inevitable as much as possible. But there goes the melee racks, the ranged racks to follow suit. And I'm sure QsQ will kind of reset things here now.
I mean, Pinky Curdy had a good idea. There's the GG well played. Actually, I don't blame him at all. This is pretty much over. And Game 2 will go to QsQ, so we're going to have an epic series, guys. We're going to a Game 3 in what's a very important series for both teams, really. But yeah, you got to say, Pinky Curdy on Parasite had a really great idea. I mean, you obviously have to be the one to cancel that Shrunken Head and Tempest ultimate. But even with, I think it was channeled for maybe like 1.52 seconds, but that was just more than enough to do enough damage from that Draconis, and he just did a lot of damage.
Yeah, it was definitely an impressive game on this time by Q Squad. So obviously with FYKU coming out strong in game number 1, really surprising all of us, even maybe even Q Squad. But game number 2, they calmed things down a little bit. They played their own game. They definitely got more of their own style there, as you even referred to. Of course, able to pick up that jungle and Tempest. They happen to get Draconis, which is very rare nowadays. So Nox did a great job on that. And winning the top lane Plague versus Luna, I mean, there really were just several things in there that definitely resulted in a victory for Q Squad, but ultimately just better play in the end, too. So you got to give them definitely all the credit there. And we are going to game number 3, though, so of course that is the exciting thing. I can't wait to see what happens at game number 3 now.
Definitely. I think, again, FYKU's got to switch it up and prevent that jungler from happening. They did have Parasite in the offensive woods, but it just didn't prove to be enough to counter that Tempest. And I think he could have been better either putting a lot more pressure on that bottom lane constantly and kind of giving his farm a little bit, yes, that's true, or farming up in his own woods and applying pressure to Plague Rider, constantly killing him, which you can do with Luna.
Yeah, so game number 3, that is, again, the good thing here, at least for us spectators, so looking forward to that. What is our first match here on a doubleheader day here on Honcast.com. So even when this series finishes, we will be coming back with, of course, another best of 3. But with that said, we're going to take a quick break here, ladies and gentlemen. And game number 3 is going to be coming back. FYKU taking on Q Squad. Who will win? Who will get the chance to control their own destiny? We'll see. Stay tuned, guys.